Content warning. The Adventures in HellwQrld podcast talks in depth about QAnon, which means we have to talk about all kinds of child abuse and violence against people. Listener discretion advised.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike Grains, a.k.a. Poker in Politics, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in HellwQrld. This week, I am joined, as always, by Haley, a.k.a. Arizona Right Watch.
Hello, everybody. Big intro for the real co-host this week, Elle.
Yes, the not so mysterious Elle this week.
Special guest me.
Yeah, you're
I guess.
the big guest.
Yeah. Hello, my beautiful babies. The co-hosts are excited because I finally got a webcam, so they can look at me while we record, while you, the listener, still cannot. So I really hope you think this part of the podcast is super scintillating. You can imagine what I look like.
Yes,
I did that. I mean, I knew what you looked like because of photos, but
but only from the waist down.
Yeah, and also it's just like
I was like female co-host, and like my hands were all slick with butter, and I was just like trying to text you a picture of my cock. No, it's cool.
But also like it's just different, seeing you talk with your mouth.
I think I only sent you the one photo of my face when I was at that Halloween party as a chill laid back Nosferatu, and it was just my normal face with some dorky vampire ears. Like
I think you also sent
on.
a Christmas photo of yourself.
Oh, maybe yes.
Yeah.
Holidays is when I do kitschy photo stuff. What was I with one of my boys? Were we in like a holiday wreath?
You were in a little hat.
A couple. I was in a little hat. Different holiday photo. See, listener, if you were part of the real super double plus patriotic, a personal friend of Mysterious Elle, you too would get kitschy photos of holiday stuff. And for that, visit patreon.com/pokerpolitics. And for a donation of $10,000 a month, I'll be fucking anyone's friend. I mean, let's go.
Okay, I just have to commandeer the beginning of the pod a little bit because we had a question last week about a movie that we couldn't stand, actually pissed us off, and we kind of talked briefly, Elle, about M. Night Shyamalan movies like The Happening and whatnot.
Yeah, his catalog of incredible bangers. Old, The Beach That Makes You Turn Old.
This made me have a flash memory moment of I felt like I remembered a fake documentary about M. Night Shyamalan that was 3 hours long on the Sci-Fi Channel that insinuated that all the movies were actually about him, for realsies. Did you ever see this?
No, absolutely not. That sounds like an absolutely crazy thing. I would love to see it if it exists, if it's on YouTube or something. That sounds like an awesome thing to check out.
I think we need to do this for bonus content because for some reason I thought this was a dream that I had, and then I went down a little rabbit hole, and the Sci-Fi Channel before The Village, which was awful, came out, wanted a promo for The Village, and instead an Academy Award winning director who did The Price of Everything, which is actually a really great documentary, pretended to find out the truth, quote unquote, about really. Okay, so this director who is it's Nathaniel Kahn, who was actually nominated for an Academy Award. He goes to the town where M. Night is filming The Village and pretends to basically uncover, quote unquote, that M. Night has actually written all the movies about himself, and he actually drowned as a young child, a la Unbreakable, and he can see dead people, a la The Sixth Sense, and
he grew up spending his entire childhood thinking that it was the 1700s before dramatically being revealed upon him that it was modern day.
So yeah, and it turns out it was all bullshit. It obviously it was bullshit. When I saw it as a child, I remember thinking it was fake. But then I went down this rabbit hole and was searching at articles around during that time, and media got upset because I guess a lot of people thought it was real and they felt like M. Night and this director duped everybody for making this fake documentary about M. Night, and I feel like we should watch it.
Yeah, I'd be down. I mean, do you remember that shit got kind of popular there for a while? The fake documentary. I remember that Discovery Channel was doing them on dragons and mermaids and stuff. I think the mermaid one hoodwinked a bunch of people, if I recall, when it came out. A bunch of people were like, Toad's mermaid, the Toad's real. The Discovery Channel said it was real, so obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that's like all TikTok is now, is people just putting up AI images of giants and being like, they don't want you to know the truth about giants, and just going into this like 90-second riff about how giants walk among us and like the Illuminati's keeping the truth away from you, and then they're just like, and make sure the ending of this video loops back to the beginning, so you'll just watch it 5 times, so it'll just hit the view count up more, so I can get monetized. Just like, oh god.
I only listen to that sort of appeal for trans people on TikTok. They're just like, dude, transphobia is the worst. Like, listen to my video for a while so I can make some money. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I've got 30 seconds. Here you go. But yeah, I'm totally down. We can add it to the list with Civil War once we have a way to get that without paying money directly into that system, and then we can
fake documentaries on YouTube for free because it's old.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that like we can add it to the list of stuff we want to watch and discuss. You know, HellwQrld and chill.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you watch The Happening?
Me or Mike or both?
Both.
Me? Oh, absolutely. I've seen The Happening like 3-4 times.
Why you like it?
No, I hate its guts, but I have to show it to all of my friends because it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have yet to watch The Happening, although I'm down to hate watch anything, especially
give me your worst Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel acting jobs. No, that's too bad. Classic Simpsons meme. The Village, yes, absolutely.
Do you like that one?
No, they're all bad. They're all bad except for like 3/4 of Unbreakable and pretty much all of The Sixth Sense and the first half of Signs.
Okay.
There's nothing I enjoy more than people trying to defend the end of Signs. Like, nothing makes my eyes roll harder than people being like, no, it all makes sense. And I'm like, why would the aliens invade a planet that is 75% the juice that will murder them?
Yeah, dude. And it was like, oh, it's an homage to War of the Worlds. And it's like, look, the aliens in War of the Worlds were also stupid, but at least the thing that killed them was fucking invisible. Like, the hallmark feature of our planet is that you can see that from space. Like, you'd be like fucking traveling, or you'd be like, oh shit, this planet looks pretty sick. It's like, it's got this weird color. What's up with that? And they'd just be like, sir, our senses are indicating that this planet is like 98% toxic to us. If we go there, we will die. The atmosphere, like every part of it just wants to kill us. And it's like, cool, ignore that. Go there immediately. We have to scare these farmers. We need their something.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of the plot of Lady in the Water, but I remember at the time thinking it was the worst piece of dog shit that I had ever seen in my life. Do you remember?
So Lady in the Water, I think, is like the one of the M. Night Shyamalan movies from back when he was so important that I haven't seen all the way through. I've seen like the first third of it. Like that's the one where the twist is that there is no twist. It just sort of like is a regular down the plate fairy tale from the beginning to the end. M. Night Shyamalan's just like, I'll show him I don't need a twist for my movie to be compelling. And it's just like, oh, buddy, we didn't think that you didn't have twists in you anymore. We just thought that you didn't have good movies in you anymore. And we were right, for the record.
But, like, didn't people think he was good during the whole, like, Split series thing and, like, Mr. Glass? Or, like, oh, shit, M. Night Shyamalan's got his fastball back.
Well, that was the thing. But, like, the fastball he got back was the twist, you know, because Split, people were just like, Split's an average movie with a great performance from McAvoy in it. But then, like, the twist at the end was what got everybody talking. It was like a classic Shyamalan. It was just like, oh my God, the king of the twist is back, the twist. But then, did he capitalize on it? No, everybody agrees that Glass is horrible. It just sucks. Everybody's just like, this movie sucks, and nothing good or fun happens in it. It's all brown and gray, and it sucks. like every Elder Scrolls game before Skyrim. Boom, roasted. Take that hard to swallow pill, you freaks. All the Elder Scrolls games are bad except Skyrim, which only gets a pass because it's the most recent one. And then once the new one comes out, we'll all look back at Skyrim and go, brother,
Oh man!
Just kidding. I love a brown gray RPG. I've played Skyrim for like hundreds of hours, but it is brown and gray and largely boring. So it just is what it is.
It's very gray. That's kind of my chill game. If I'm just like, I need to just pick some flowers and go in my big house where my children are like, Mama, and they give me a sweet roll.
And then you can, but then you can neglect them and not get arrested or feel guilty because they're not real. The best children ever. I agree. It's awesome. And I do actually really like Skyrim, but it's just like,
it's very gray though. That's why you like looking at the sky, because it's like, wow, look at all those colors that they could have put in the game.
Yeah, I see it in it's blue, and despite the fact that indicates that the planet will kill me, I'm still just like, dude, I gotta have it. You know?
Yes.
Full circle. All right, let's get into our fucking boosh. Boom.
It's time for a light sampling of insanity. Get ready for the amuse bouche.
Well. We got revealed a nice big portrait of the Elden King. Get it? Because that fucking king portrait looks pretty fucking crazy. And for the record, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think that fucking picture rules.
He looks like soup.
It's just like, I mean, when I look at it, I'm just like, damn, what a piece of art. But also, like, I'm not the king of a nation hanging it in my foyer or whatever, or like putting it in a lineup where you can see my whole family. And then suddenly it's just like, and then Queen Elizabeth died, and King Charles, the flaming hell monarch, you know.
Yes, a metaphor. I think the artist was trying to speak to all of us, to speak about how the monarchy is dipped in blood. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I look at it and I'm just like, damn, that rules. But of course, because it is such a distinct piece of art, and because the expression therein is so completely fucking bizarre for a royal portrait, apparently we got some decode action. You know, everybody got to their cryptographs. Beep, 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 beep. They start twiddling their little their cylinders to do the decode. If we had a drop for this, it would be the decode.
Exactly. So the first thing that came up was mostly people talking about adrenochrome, because it's all red, and red is blood, and blood is adrenochrome, and this is how the royals keep themselves alive.
Cool. And the only part that isn't red is the man's face realized completely photorealistically, which fucking betrays that whole shit, because that guy like is and looks 1,000. Like, the whole portrait is red adrenochrome. It's showing how the royal family just like keeps their impure lives going forever. And it's just like, yeah, except for the center of the portrait where you see the guy's face, and you're just like, ooh, damn, that dude looks like he's gonna die at any moment. Like, he's fucking so old. Yeah. Okay. Super cool theory.
Yeah.
Is a theory that the portrait is about adrenochromes, and it doesn't even work. Boo! How evil.
Man, it's like so funny that like that guy was literally like, Queen Elizabeth was just like hanging on to deny him the throne for as long as she possibly could, and now he's finally like, you couldn't keep it away from me forever, Mom. Now I'm king. How you like them apples? And I saw somebody make a video where they took the photo and they put it on the right, and then they took the photo again and flipped it onto the left, and then they smashed the two of them together, and then in the silhouettes they were able to create a devil's head, and they had this like happy looking devil smiling at them. If like you really work very hard and draw out the outlines and do all this kind of work, you're like, look, it's a tribute to Lucifer. If you do a lot of things and squint really hard, you can finally find the devil. And it was just like, man, I mean, I know you guys do a lot of work for all your stuff and how making the Q drops make sense, but even for you, this is a reach. Even for you guys, this is a bit of work.
Forgot to unmute myself like a moron. Mike, shut your wet mouth, because you've just given me the greatest idea ever for our selling out plans. And it's something that we could realize probably with the help of a friend of the podcast and listener who doesn't mind when I shout out his name, Jay. Because decode AI. That's our grift. We make a generative AI algorithm, and then we sucker these rubes into, it's just like, hey, with our patented AI technology, you give us a photo and we will run it through that shit, and we will surface all the conspiracy theory stuff, the demonic possession, if there's like an evil spirit in there. And then we just use AI to put that shit in any fucking, they're just like, here's a picture of my front lawn. And it's just like, that turns out you've got some devil on there, you know? The AI says you've got some devil. And we just charge them to run their photos through the service to find out what sort of things are ailing them.
Oh, I mean, this is like Scientology, but instead of an e-meter, we just have our AI program for their photos. Oh, this is great.
Is .ai a domain yet? Can we get decode.ai?
I'm sure we could. We have to.
Nobody steal that idea. Listeners, decode.ai, it's us. It's all us.
Yes, it's ours.
This is HellwQrld podcast. If you want to know what sort of Satan is happening in your family photos, you got to pay.
Gotta find all the Satan in your family photos. That's what it's all about.
Who do I have to give credit to for the coolness of the royal portrait, though? Like, whose idea was that? Was that all the artist and everybody else was just on board with it? I would imagine so, which would be great because
Maybe
even though I don't know their name,
he's like, "Make me dipped in blood," and they're like, "Okay."
I want my stupid old face surrounded by nothing but red blood and flames. What? That's pretty intense, old man. Yes, I'm a British monarch. Of course, I want to be ruled by blood and flames.
He wants to be remembered, you know?
Bro. And we'll show you exactly what that portrait secret hides if you go to decode.ai once we get it up and running.
Apparently, the artist's name is Jonathan Yeo, Y-E-O, and he didn't. There's an article I haven't read yet where it explains why he made it so red. So, and he apparently says he's enjoying all the memes that people are making of his incredibly red photo. So,
yeah, my favorite one was Tupperware after you put spaghetti in it once. Because you know how
I actually didn't see any of these memes, but I shouldn't be surprised that there were a bunch of memes. I mean, well, sorry, I didn't see any of the memes that were not people just being like, "Look at this Elden Ring ass painting." I'm just like, yeah, okay, it does look like Elden Ring.
That's so funny.
Okay, good stuff. Love a good portrait. And boy, I just saw what the next topic was going to be, and God, if I thought I couldn't get even more turgid, it's time to start talking shit about MTG. In the little bougie segment I hear labeled bleach blonde, bad built, butch bougie. It turns out that MTG and another lawmaker, I guess, or whatever, decided to get into a fucking verbal spat, and our democracy is really something. And for the more specific deets,
name is Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. That is a cool name for a person. Well, I'll turn it over to Mike and or Haley.
That commented on my article for Talking Points memo, like the day it came out, she was in Congress. Like, I just got word that Paul Gosar has hired a neo-Nazi, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna remember you.
I'm glad that Jasmine Crockett's like making, like, just shooting up Haley's ranks of awesome politicians, attacking MTG, bro fisting Haley for her reporting on Paul Gosar. Like, just
did she make any comments about your figure? Or is that just where she goes when she wants to attack somebody?
No,
which for the record I support because MTG sucks and came at her first. But I love the fact that MTG decided to get into like a verbal altercation like this, like, where she did. I mean, like, you know, she is a moron, but I just love the fact that she's just like, ew, why have decorum? Who needs that? Gross. Yuck City. Except she wanted some decorum back when she started to get attacked. When she was like, wait a minute, my CrossFit body's super nice. I love it.
Jasmine Crockett has apparently trademarked bleach blonde, bad built butch body. So apparently we're going to be getting T-shirts of that soon. So,
dude, the TikTok was awash in remixes of it. It was great.
Yeah, I got sent some of those from like normie friends. So
it was like the smooth transition from BBL Drizzy into the 6'5" finance blue eyes into this. For people who are on TikTok, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh God. Yeah, so like that whole fight happened. AOC tried to step in and handle it. This has led basically all of MTG's fanboys have been all getting all upset and defending their queen. I saw some QAnon promoter posted a photo of Boebert and MTG and then said, "Who you got?" And then another QAnon promoter replied back and was just like, we need to act like better people. We need to be better than this. And
or everybody needs to get on board with the throwdown. One way or the other. Everybody decorum or everybody throwdown.
I'm in total agreement with the throwdown. I think that politicians should actually physically fight and duel again.
Yeah,
I mean, so
when that one conservative idiot brought it up, like, it just seemed sort of out of pocket, because it's like, dude, you're a former UFC guy, and the other person is just like a regular chap. But if it was on the books that you knew that was going to have to be a competition, let's just say that that would solve the old person problem we have with our politicians. Like, do you think Donald Trump could have scrapped his way to the top of the presidency? I fucking doubt it.
I mean, Ted Cruz seems pretty spineless, but I do think Ted Cruz would take Donald Trump in a fist fight. I don't think that's really that bold an assumption. I mean, this was back when, like a year ago, when like people were like, "Oh yeah, Elon Musk would totally beat up Mark Zuckerberg in a fight," and it's like, no, he wouldn't. Zuckerberg would kill him.
Yeah, and then Mark Zuckerberg revealed that he had like 3 black belts, and Elon Musk was suddenly just like, I don't think fighting would be such a good idea. It's like, yeah, I bet you don't, fucking moron. Because you were about to get served up by a person who is barely human. Like, yes. just by virtue of being the person who was going to get to fight Elon Musk physically, like, Mark Zuckerberg just started to gain humanity at such a rapid pace. We were all astonished by it. We were like, whoa. And some of it even lingered. Like, did you see the last photos he put out? Like, his like publicity photos. He had like, he was wearing accessories, and like he was dressed like an adult. And he had like color in his face. It was fucking insane. I was like, Mark Zuckerberg, are you hitting like a second puberty? Are you becoming a real boy?
Oh man, yeah.
Still a billionaire though, so fuck you.
Oh yeah,
get it down to $999 million, and we'll talk. Give the rest away.
Yeah,
to me in charity.
The only good billionaire is L, the billionaire. That's
no. $999 million. That's the rule, even for me. Give me $999 million, and then I will help you give away the rest. It'll be like Brewster's Millions or whatever, except you'll make one fat idiot rich, and then together you will do a bunch of good in the world. We'll frolic together, and I'll help socialize you.
You'll make a real boy out of Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. I'd have to lose a lot of weight to do rich person stuff, though, like parasailing and going into space. Too fat for any of that.
Well, that's the thing, is once you're a billionaire, you can make them make you the space outfit.
Yeah, but I would only have $999 million. I would not be a billionaire.
Damn. I keep forgetting the point of all of this. I'm very bad. This is why I don't do improv.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do that. That was why we need to get you out of here and bring Sarge back for his patented no butt style of improv.
Yeah,
or occasionally throwing me to ask me to say something racist as a punchline. Just good stuff. Love Sarge.
Yeah,
but Sarge is dead now, replaced with Haley, who is much cooler. We will be here.
I don't have bits though.
I mean, not yet, but you're still relatively new. You can get bits. You can make bits.
I feel like my bit is just being the person that comes in and is a bummer.
Well, that's life. I mean, my God, we have to have.
That's life.
That's life. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, we need to have someone to remind us of the soul crushing nature of reality. That's what it's all about.
There's no jokes around here on this comedy pod.
No, oh no, God no, oh no. But also your other bit is when I ask you to read stuff, because that's what that's what the woman has to do on the podcast.
Yeah.
Over time you will settle into what it is you're best at. Like me telling Mike to shut his wet mouth. Mike, shut your wet mouth. Because it's time for us to move away into our next boosh topic, which is QAnon Bible studies. Lord knows I love the Bible. What's going on here?
Okay, so we've had 2 different QAnon promoters this week ruffle a lot of feathers in the community by just, bringing up the Bible, because QAnon, for being a crazy right-wing conspiracy theory, is also very Christian. And our first QAnon conspiracy theorist was just sort of like, the bad guys have ruled the world for forever, and they're doing all the bad stuff. So what are the odds they haven't, tampered with or totally made up the Bible? And boy, howdy, do you not kick that hornet's nest with people. And everyone's like, the Bible is the word of God, and the Illuminati were not able to get their filthy paws on it, and argle bargle. And the guy was like, who ran the printing presses for all those years? And he was like listing off the people that were in charge of all this kind of stuff, who was disseminating the information of the Bible. And it was just causing this huge argument. And the funniest part about all of this is a guy who's like JFK Jr. is alive, the Holocaust isn't real, blah, blah, blah. And all that stuff is smooth sailing. But when he brought up the fact that, your fairy tale book about your sky daddy might have been made up by the bad people instead of the good people, everyone was just red in the face, like, you shut your mouth. You shut up right now, because I love Jesus and Jesus is real. One person actually replied, don't care, still going to church on Sundays, still love Jesus. And it was like, oh my God, do you like the whole
God, bro. You gotta understand that the cult that you're in, it's pretty God centric.
Yes,
God centric.
It's God and the Bible is real centric, and you're allowed to poke. You're allowed to poke at a lot of things, but poking at Trump maybe not being the hero, can't do. Poking at the Bible maybe being bullshit, no bueno. It was just awesome.
My Jehovah's Witness family will talk so much shit about every other cult and sect of Christianity, but if you say one thing about J-dubs, you're excommunicated, because that's how it works. Anyways.
Yeah, dude, because they are correct. And if there's one thing the various tribes of people vying over the favor of the God of Abraham love more than anything, including their God, it's being right about their God. They're just like, hey, it's less important to me that you be saved and more important that I be saved and I get to like wave at you from heaven down while you burn in hell, just being like, should have done it our way, idiot. We were right.
And I just
paradise.
Feel right, right now. I feel better than other people because I am correct in my faith.
Yeah, I mean that's
a lot of hot energy, which I don't like.
Like that stuff it so puts me off about religion that so much of it is what Elle just said, where it's just like, at the end of the day, you're going to burn because you're wrong. And it's just that vindictiveness, that pettiness. And it's just, do you really think an all-powerful, all-loving God like sits around going, oh man, I tricked so many people into following wrong religions? Yes. Oh, they're going to be so mad.
And I love that impulse. I love being petty. I have a routine where I wait. Other people try to think of like cool, fun ideas or maybe plan their day when they're in the shower. Every morning when I wake up, I reserve my shower time for thinking petty thoughts. I'm petty as fuck in that shower, dude. You have no idea. Every woman that's ever slighted me, every person that ever like didn't appreciate me or whatever, they're getting thought about when I'm in the shower in the morning. I am petty as fuck in there. And then I get out of the shower and I'm feeling good. It's nice. I get to be positive again for the rest of the day. Try to keep the petty thoughts at bay for the rest of the day. It's pretty cool. So, like, you would think that I would be down for that. But the thing is that, like, I need proof of vengeance. And you can't prove to me that anyone goes to hell because it don't exist and nobody does. But the moment you can, then absolutely. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Dude, the people that, like, I was right and the people that were wrong get fucking punished for it. That sounds awesome to me. I'm not above that level of pettiness, but I need proof. I need the proof.
Right. Show me.
Everybody can see me except for the listener, but I'm pointing at the palm of my hand right now. This is where the proof goes, in the hand.
One proof, please.
It used to be that nobody would see me doing these gestures. 0 people. Now 2 people do, and that's going to take some adjustment.
Yes. Yeah. We had, so then after our silly little incident with that guy, another QAnon promoter decided that he was like, I'm gonna like try to get my 2 cents in on wacky Bible theories. And his theory of the Bible was that, the apple of knowledge probably wasn't an apple. Eve probably had sex with the serpent, and then after she did, Eve, the serpent, and Adam then had a 3-way, and then that's when God like showed up and was like, "What are you kinky weirdos doing?" And
that's what the book says.
And well, no, he was like, "Why does Eve realize she's quote unquote naked after quote unquote eating the apple?" And then she lets Adam have some of the apple, and then he thinks he's naked. What's going on there? And then he was just like, why is Cain not like one of the descendants of Adam in the lineage of the Bible, when Cain is one of the descendants of Adam? That's, I don't know what on earth you're talking about. But yeah, he was pretty clear that we were doing Bible study after dark.
Yeah.
Where,
well, yeah, I mean, but the thing, like, I don't think any of that none of that is like a new jive, you know? Isn't that the whole deal with like Lilith, the first woman, and all that stuff? Like that's a fiction that's been going around for a while. So, like, I do sort of like that. I mean, that is an interesting theory. Again, it's not super new, but it's just like that the tree of knowledge was just like the like woman awakening to her sexual needs before man. Like that has been around for a while. That's not a new concept.
yeah, well, I'd always thought the apple was sex, but I thought it was sex between Adam and Eve, not Adam and the serpent. I didn't know that the serpent was boning down. That was like the new twist to it all with me.
I guess it's just incredibly irrelevant, but sure, you got it, weird QAnon guy. It was a snake baby all along, lizard person, etc. Please take it there. Otherwise, this is useless. But if you do take it there, bully on you. Love that. The lizard people are not aliens. They are the true children of the first woman.
Yeah,
look at that. Look. How long did it take me to do a better one than them? Put it on the clock. When did I start talking about that? Was that like 2.5 minutes? And yeah, Be more interesting, you fucks.
You got the reptiloids so much faster and so much smoother. Oh man.
Oh God, sorry. I just hate how boring they are. But anyway, so like they all love the Bible and they hate when anybody questions the Bible, but like of course all of these people are just horrible monsters, and I have to imagine that almost none of them are actually going to church. Like what happens if Donald J. Trump has a rally on a Sunday? You know? Prove your fucking loyalties.
All their loyalties to Trump all the way. He is their god.
Because not only do I demand you prove your loyalties, but God does too. That's pretty much across the board. That's a big time God thing. He's like, dude, I demand you prove it. I mean, prove it. It's not enough to say it. Prove it.
Oh yeah. Works, not like works, not faith. I mean, however it is that you're supposed to get to heaven, which you guys have lots of arguments about. So
being super rich, there's that passage in the Bible that spells
yes,
out. It's
that
like,
is
dude, get fat stacks, and then the J-Man will personally escort you into the Bling Palace. Yes. I think that's what it said. 100%. We're short on time, so we're gonna have to move away from QAnon and the Bible. But I mean, Lord knows, Mike and I could talk about the Bible all day long. And twice on Sundays, bazinga. But no, it is time for us to move to the greatest and best state in the continental U.S., Arizona. Everyone's favorite state, Arizona, except for the people who live in Florida. They think Florida is better, and they're wrong. Arizona's the best, and to talk about how great Arizona is, it's time to throw it over to Haley, a.k.a. Arizona Right Watch. Hi, Haley.
Hello.
I love the swastika on your shirt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that. Anyway, hi.
No,
How's Arizona going?
For the listeners, I'm in a Dead Kennedy shirt. It says Nazi punks, fuck off.
Yeah,
there is technically a swastika on it, but it is crossed out. It is to indicate that we do not like Nazis.
Yeah, the swastika has the Ghostbusters slash through it. It is like boom, like boom. Nazi busters, bam! We're shooting them with a proton pack.
And on the back of it is the Ghostbusters ghost, and he's punching a Nazi. He's escaped. He's escaped the confines of the ring and is actually punching a dickhead in the face. A pretty cool shirt.
I wasn't going to open up with this story, but we'll just start with it because it's in the same vein. Brian Blem, Carrie Lake's lawyer through her Kraken cases of all her bullshit lawsuits, he skipped court yesterday because he's going to get disbarred, and he sent he recorded a video of himself where he flipped off the court. So he told the court to fuck off. So Carrie Lake only hires the best people. That's
I didn't get fired. I quit.
So yeah, he's getting disbarred for like 6 months, which is wildly short for what they've done. But anyway, the big news of the week, I'm sure most people saw this, was that Rudy Giuliani got absolutely fucking owned by our Attorney General, Chris Mays. Rudy Giuliani tweeted earlier this week. He was boasting at Chris Mays on Twitter, like, if the Arizona authorities can't find me by tomorrow morning, they must dismiss the indictment and concede that they can't count votes. And he posted it of a photo of himself surrounded by like other people and balloons because he was celebrating his birthday in Florida with one of Carrie at the house of like one of Carrie Lake's advisors. But about an hour and a half later, he would be served at his party. And then Chris Mays quote tweeted that post and said the defendant was served moments ago. And Giuliani tweeted or deleted the post immediately after that. So that was kind of funny. The fake electors all had their day in court yesterday. Some appeared virtually and some went to the courthouse, actually.
Wow, what an unprofessional ding that was. Who did that? Speak now. Who's dinged? Who did a ding?
But
wow.
The mugshots have started to trickle out of the lawmakers who have been the fake electors, and including lawmakers. There was Kelly Ward looks so funny in her mugshot. She got like a cute little bob haircut going on. She's smiling real big, and her husband are now begging for money on GoFundMe to fund their fees. They just got a boat like last year, so yeah, always grifting. Giuliani launched a coffee brand. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I heard about the Giuliani coffee brand. Oh my god, these people.
Yeah, it's like Rudy's Coffee or some shit to pay off his
Boo! Fee. Boo! What a weak name. They should have called it Julie Beans. I just thought of that, and it's only been like 6 seconds. Put it up on the board. Julie Beans.
And they should have a flavor that's like the slop that was dripping off of the side of his face when he was giving that press conference, like Rudy's,
or just like a commercial where someone's like collecting that into a cup, like it's dripping all the way down, like into it, like and it just like drips, and like midair the drip becomes coffee, it goes into a cup, and it's just
exactly
like a rugged gentleman like in a flannel with like a beard, just holding it up and nodding.
Yep.
Sorry, this has nothing to do with Arizona.
No, but it does have to do with Rudy, which is who we're dunking on. So yes.
Did you guys see Christina Bob's mugshot?
No, send us her mugshot.
I'm putting it in chat right now. You know how some people went with the smile, like they smiled real big. She went with the exact opposite.
She went sad. She went sad girl.
Yeah, she went really angry.
Oh God, I had this like really. Oh yeah, I saw this photo because someone posted it on Twitter with like the talk about the Kubrick scare and how it's
that was me.
yeah,
it was Haley, and I even responded to it, which is why I'm sort of like I'm shocked that you asked me if I saw this. Yeah, I fucking saw it. I even engaged with you on social media over it.
Oh, I don't really look at my comments because I usually get weirdos.
I think it's probably this is a good point for me to bring up to the listener. After we record for like roughly 90 minutes every week, and then after that, Mike and I are dead to Haley.
No.
She wouldn't piss on us if we were on fire at recording ours. Every time we're done recording, she has to restrain every impulse to just throw her laptop across the room in frustration, having to spend some time with us.
I'm sorry. I am very busy. Like literally right after this, I have a 2-hour meeting, but it's fine.
Oh, like, lucky dog! Oh God,
I know, it's super cool. Yeah. So Christina Bob was looking very normal. She also kind of like freaked out at the reporters outside of the courthouse when she was leaving. Let's see if I can play the audio for this.
With an axe?
She was just like.
Did you go full Shining on their asses? That'd be great.
So yeah, she's just like pushing.
I just love the people yelling, "That's assault!" And she's like, "Get on my face!"
She's like pushing the camera that's like in front of her. She's like grabbing it and pushing it. But anyway, Christina Bob's having a normal one. The Turning Point guys seem to be having fun with everything. They Tyler Boyer, who's the COO of Turning Point, like showed up really smiling, and they've been kind of like posting memes of his mugshot with him like wearing cool sunglasses and like the Mike Tyson tattoo, like he's cool. He's got Fred. To them, not me. He sucks. Yeah. For people who pay attention to Turning Point USA stuff, Charlie Kirk had a son this weekend. He had a child. Yeah, so the lineage moves on. Unfortunately,
the racial purity of his genetically white bloodline has been secured.
The House Ethics Committee has started to file some complaints against Austin Smith, who forged signatures to get on the ballot this year. He's also
the guy that dropped out of the race and then was like, "Don't come at me, bro," and people were like, "Oh man, we're coming at you. You've made some mistakes, idiot."
But yeah, they dropped the complaint against him. Like, the lead's a Republican, so that didn't work.
Yeah, of course.
But he's gonna get in some trouble, so that'll be fun. Let's see.
Oh, didn't Rudy get served on a live stream? Didn't like the guy with like? Yeah, that was I saw a video. They were like, "Here's Rudy getting served," and it's like some guy like walking up on him with a huge shit-eating grin, and they were like, "Yo, Mr."
And then he throws down the cardboard mat and he starts breaking.
Yes. It's just
Rudy Giuliani's shocked. Watch Rudy Giuliani get served live on stream. Got the fucking hat on, fucking Kangol, just boom.
He didn't show to court yesterday. He said that he has not seen the indictment, even though it was like published in every newspaper. So he's got like 30 days to respond. But yeah, so yesterday was everybody's kind of first day at court. It was a big media circus. There was like a ton of folks outside the courthouse. And then, let's see. There was also a pretty big, hilarious fight in, LD, like Legislative District 2, on Monday, I believe it was. It's like some really tacky shit, but like nothing gets like older people fighting, literally scrapping, more than like low level grassroots politics. So there was an attempt to censure this failed 2022 candidate named Christian Lamar. And like he was calling, like he's also a precinct committeeman, so he was like trying to motion, and the guy who was leading the meeting was like ignoring, and people started to yell and literally fight one another. A couple women got thrown to the ground. Jake Angeli, aka the QAnon shaman, had to come in and kind of like break some people up. Here, I'm gonna play some audio.
Oh.
Yeah, so you want to fucking go? He put emotion on the floor is probably the best line I've ever heard in my life.
That's how politics should be done. You like, I'm putting emotion on the floor. You want to fucking go? I love that. Like,
well, yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, dude. Let's get down with the throwdown. Fucking get rid of the pretense. Let's turn America into what conservatives want our political system to be. Well, the rowdy let's fight each other to fucking figure out who's on top style, and not like let's elect Donald Trump our fucking president god king forever for some reason.
Yeah, not that. Oh my god. Yeah, I just love the idea of people turning a public hearing into a hockey match where you can just drop your gloves and be like, "Let's go, bro! Let's do this!" Pep, 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 pep. I love the person screaming, "No rhinos! No rhinos!" Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ! Yeah, we only have MAGA Republicans who don't censure other Republicans around here, and now we're gonna start throwing. It makes me sad though that the Q shaman stayed kind of true to his bullshit narrative of being a peacemaker. I wanted him actually throwing knuckle jammers. I didn't want him breaking things up, because I remember that's what he said about January 6th. He's like, I was trying to calm things down. It's like, no, you weren't. What the fuck are you talking about?
You were dressed like a fucking minotaur, you clown.
Yes, exactly.
There was people armed there. It's pretty lucky it didn't get worse, but. I love the guy going you want to fucking do it? Yeah, I want to fucking do it. Gentlemen, please.
Oh, what a hopeless romantic. That's what I always say to my ladies. Just
Anyway,
it's been a while since I've had that impulse. I'm too old for that shit now. I'd be like, do you really want to do this?
Yes.
Sure want to do this. And then some lazy fighting.
Yep.
All right, does that do it for our trip to Arizona for the week?
Yep.
Well, thank you, Haley. We appreciate it as always.
And surprisingly optimistic. I don't believe it.
Optimistic-ish. I mean, we'll see. Week to week, it's pretty rough out there. So but that's why we have correspondents. Correspondents who hate our guts, as we mentioned before.
I know.
Okay. We ran a little long in the bush. Let's get to Q's in the news.
From the digital headlines to the digital front lines, it's Q's in the news.
If it bleeds, it leads. And unfortunately, Iran lost some good ones. Well, I don't know how good they were, but they were some big ones. Fucking the president of Iran and some fucking cabinet people and other local people of to-do fucking ended up accidentally crashing into the side of a mountain through some dense fog, not unlike one Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Black Mamba or whatever. But yeah, if it sounds like I have a more somber tone than I should for something like this, it's just because when I first heard this news, I got fucking hella spooked. I was just like, that guy's helicopter probably went down just because helicopters are death traps, and I would literally never go on one for anything other than to rescue me from already life-threatening barrel. But I was just like, with the shit that's kicking off over there right now, dude, I'm not looking for no mysterious Middle Eastern, presidential deaths right now. If we can avoid that, that'd be super cool. So when this news first came down the pipe, I was just like, oh, brother. And then for the podcast, I was like, oh, brother? Because I was like, well, hopefully the fucking QAnon people have some shit to say about this. So let's see. Mike, what's going on with Iran and their presidential sitch? He's dead, but I mean, aside.
Yeah. So President Rossi died, and QAnon immediately had two thoughts, which were kind of basically the same thought, but they pretend they're two different thoughts. Thought number one was that the deep state killed him, and thought number two was that the Israel, aka the Jews, killed him. So it was really shocking that that's where their mind went on all of this.
And thank God that they were clearly wrong about the second part, because I have to imagine that the World War III would have kicked off by now if it was we got to the crash site and there was a fucking Israeli missiles debris here. What the fuck? I feel like we probably have already heard about that one. So
yeah.
I saw some HARP kind of conspiracies going on.
Oh yeah, the fog machine. Oh yeah, we hit him. I mean, we got Jewish space lasers, so how would we not have Jewish fog machines?
Well, we've been harping the shit out of the Middle East recently, dude. We put Dubai underwater just to show them who's boss.
Yeah,
we're like, how you like 3 inches of water all over your whole city, idiots? Boom.
Yeah,
taste it. Harp you.
Yeah. So basically, this was their initial foray. Was the whole thing about it was like, oh yeah, like man, like the deep state did this bad thing, and this is going to cause all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And the main thing that QAnon was talking about was they were just like, oh man, this is going to cause such a big power. There's going to be a big battle inside the Iranian government, and blah blah blah. And none of these people understand that, like, the president of Iran is not the guy who runs Iran. The guy who runs Iran is the supreme leader of Iran, which is an appointed position that is a lifetime position. And we had the Ayatollah Khomeini. Now we have the Ayatollah Khomeini, I believe, is the current guy that's running this place. But there have only ever been two grand supreme leaders of Iran. And that guy is still running everything. The president is an elected official that gets to like do stuff beneath the supreme leader, but it is not the boss. This would be like a conspiracy theory. This would be like a conspiracy that assassinated the vice president of the United States. And everyone, oh shit, it's all going down now. And it's like, no, not really. America can live without Dan Quayle. Like, well, we will struggle on without them. Like,
well, I mean, to be fair, if a foreign nation did assassinate our vice president, it would be a big deal. I mean, like, you know, it's not as if though just because they're not the top dog, like them. If your conspiracy theory mind is going to, oh shit, Israel blew up this helicopter full of officials, it doesn't matter who's fucking on there. I mean, yes, of course, if the Ayatollah was on there, that would be the big get. But the second guy down is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, if it was a foreign conspiracy, but like the people were acting like this is going to cause like massive instability in the Iranian government, and oh man, everyone's going to start throwing down, and it was like no, like the supreme leader is going to be like, it sucks that my president guy I was like ordering to do stuff. It sucked that he got the check, but guess what? I am still like the man. I am still like doing the thing.
And that's just because the QAnon people are fucking racist, and they can't imagine that Iran is like a real place with like a functioning government because it's a Middle Eastern country. They're just like, man, they've got some dumb king and they love oil, like. They assume that if you like toppled their leader, that the rest of it would fall like dominoes because they're just like savage tribal people. But it's just like, dude, like if somebody just blew Biden's brain out today, like that would suck. And obviously it would be like a huge loss. And like, you know, it would throw a wrench into a bunch of shit. But like we have like a chain of command. You know, like that those burns just move to the next guy in the line, and the fucking wheels keep turning. Like it's not
exactly.
It's not just like we got him. We got your leader. Game over. It's like no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, we've had innumerate presidents die. We've shot 4 of them to death, and America has endured. It moves forward. Yeah, that it was. And the other thing that happens here that's very important to remember with the QAnon mythos is that Iran is part of the deep state, and they always have been. And basically, when Trump was busy cuddling and trying to get to third base with Kim Jong-un, QAnon was like, oh, shit, like Trump's going to liberate North Korea. He's going to free them and bring them into the fold to make them a happy part of the world community. And everything's going to be like puppy dogs and rainbows. And then while those summit meetings were happening between North Korea and America, Q was posting stuff about how Iran would be next. Like the next domino to fall would be Trump, like breaking Iran to our will and toppling the deep states inside of Iran and freeing them. And during the Arab Spring, when the revolutions were happening, Q was like urging people to like fight the Iranian government and topple them. He's like, fight. We have your back, patriots. So if there are any like Iranian QAnon believers who then decided to take to the streets in Iran to fight the government back then, they can enjoy that Q basically set them up to be thrown into a jail or executed because like he's a fucking troll on the internet. He's not actually working with Donald Trump trying to undermine governments. So that was like great. And because people were kind of like forgetting that because so many QAnon promoters were like, well, we love all the other dictatorships in the Middle East and everywhere else, so why wouldn't we love Iran's government? It's like, guys, have you read your source material? Iran's government is actually bad. Oh shit. So like if the Israelis or the deep state were trying to topple Iran's government, they'd be doing a good thing, according to your guy, according to the super secret spy that runs everything. Like, read your own book, morons. It was just really funny to like have that be a part of this.
Good stuff. I mean, like, you know, for the record, I am glad that this was just a run of the mill horrible helicopter accident, and I'm sure that the world is better for it being such. Although I do like anything that might light a little bit of a fire under the asses of QAnon collectively. So again, I was a person of two minds once I heard about this helicopter accident. I was just
think
like, on the
more
one
world
hand,
leaders should ride in janky old helicopters, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, that was the big thing that people were bringing up, is that like Iran doesn't have access to good helicopter technology. So like, why are they putting their presidents in these like bum ass 1960s helicopters?
I hate
well,
that.
yeah, I mean, remember when fucking what was his name, Pragovich or whatever, the fucking
Yeah, Prego, the Russian guy,
yeah, whatever. It was just like, oh, I can't believe that him and a bunch of his guys got on a plane, like fucking idiots. Like, why would you ever do that? It's just like, well, because they're fucking the country that they're in is just like, it's not America, dude. They don't have money like we got. Like, they need to get to a place. Like, I'm sure that they'd rather be secure about it, but it's not like the fucking movies, man. Everybody's government doesn't just have like have an unlimited amount of funds for like wet work and shit. And these PMCs aren't like gazillionaires with just like private helicopters. And it's just like, yeah, dude, like you just gotta like, sometimes you just gotta take the risk. Now, if I were that guy, it would be ground travel only indefinitely and never with somebody anywhere near my second in command. But that's just me. I mean, maybe he needed to get someplace quick, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, because it ain't like how it is in the movies. That's the reason why.
exactly.
Anyway, hopefully Haley's right, and next week we'll get to report on another probable piece of shit world leader dying in a helicopter accident. That would be great for our comedy show. But instead, this week and next week, I'm sure that we'll get to talk about good old Donnie Two Scoops, Mr. Former President and indicted 4 times Donald Trump, who's currently wrapping up the little trial that's going on there for his hush money payment to Stormy Daniels down in New York. But of course, that means that he's thrashing even harder, maximum thrashing here towards the end, because we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel and hopefully a conviction, although I doubt it, because why would I have faith in America? But Mike, let us talk this week about Donald Trump's specific woes. I'm sure we could talk about general woes all day, but what's going on with it this week?
The specificity of his woes is that after calling, I think, 2 witnesses, one of whom was such a piece of shit, the judge emptied the court and was like, you are going to fuck off right now, or I'm going to throw you in jail. And the guy was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Judge. And he's like, you fucking better be, you piece of shit. So that was great. After that, the defense rested. So our brave former president, the man who totally wanted to get on the stand to testify and clear his name, when he was given the opportunity to do so, he was like, I will defer. I am actually not going to get on the stand and testify in my own defense.
What a shocker. What a big time shockerello.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had so much faith in that man just staring down the prosecutors and destroying them on cross-examination with his incredible, like, just steel trap of a mind, remembering all the data and information about the case perfectly and throwing it back in their faces and showing them what for. Yeah, actually, none of that happened. He didn't get on the stand. And then when asked about it, he was like, I'm gagged. And as a result of my gagging, I can't say things. So why testify? Because you testifying and your public gag order have nothing to do with each other. The guy's brain is tapioca. It's incredible. It's just super awesome.
How do you think somebody managed to convince him that he should not testify? Like, I mean, because it was obviously from the jump he shouldn't. How do you think they finally convinced him to do it? Because there was no way he wasn't going to perjure himself. He would get up there and perjure himself immediately. It would be the fastest perjury in the history of perjury.
Yeah. They probably just explained that. I think in order to soothe his ego, they would tell him that the judge and the prosecutors and the whole court is like hopelessly biased and rigged against him. And that if he testified, they would like twist his words to try to find a way to hit him with a perjury indictment. And as a result, there's a no-win situation because this mean court system is so against you, Mr. President, that it's just too dangerous. We know that you're such a brave, strong boy and you would love to do this, but the risks are just too high. You just can't. We can't allow it. It would just be such a bad idea. And then begrudgingly, Trump was just sort of like, okay, or he was just like, oh, sounds good, because I didn't want to do that. Oh my God, there's no fucking way I wanted to get on that fucking stand. So yeah, but I think they like explained it like he was just bad people. Bad people are going to do bad things to you if you do it, Mr. Sir.
He dodged that incredibly slow-moving bullet, a la Super Mario World. Very, very, very easy to dodge that one. Although we all thought he was still gonna. Well, we thought there was a chance that he was still just gonna be like, "Fuck it, I have something to say," and it was gonna be like, "Oh, thank God." Thank God. Please go up there and lie on the stand. Love that. Love that for you.
Oh, it'd been so great. It'd been so great. So,
but no, he fucking wimped out like a coward. Enjoy your feeble, old, cowardly president. You stupid MAGA fucks.
Yeah, so we had that happen to him, and then he gave another rally, which was full of more him being incoherent and bizarre. And the end of the rally happened, and they played in the QAnon music, and he stood there for 30 seconds or more silently, just sort of like scowling, shaking his head, just sort of looking at the world. And then finally, after this weird moment of long silence and reverie, he got back to speaking. And there's been like a big argument on the internet of if he just had a brain freeze and fell apart, or if the music was, he was waiting for a certain audio cue in the music to hit before he got back into his speech. And like, why did he do that? And because this is politics, I'm going to take the least charitable possible thing. It was brain freeze. He's a fucking moron.
It was nothing. It was the same nothing that happened to Mitch McConnell twice in a row. Nothing.
Right, exactly.
It was nothing. Don't worry about it. Even though there was fucking like people were filming it like live, and you can watch recordings of it happening. Nothing happened, and shut up. And why would you ever worry about it?
I think he's having nom flashbacks. You know how some kind of go blank. And
he was having flashbacks to his bone spurs. He's like, "Oh God, my heels, they hurt so much when I was a teenager. That's why I couldn't go to Nam." Oh,
yeah, he was having Nam flashbacks, but it was NOM, and it was just him eating. He was thinking about eating Big Macs, and he was in his happy place. So he just starts sundowning like on stage. Yeah.
Real quick, because I forgot in my Arizona segment, for the people who love all things Trump, and are desperate to know how he's doing in Arizona, he just canceled another fundraiser here. So, not good, it seems.
The greatest poll ever came out where he was like beating Biden by 5 in Arizona, but Gallegos beating Kerry Lake by like 13. Yeah. So there's like this 18-point swing. There's this giant demographic of Arizonians who are like, fuck Kerry Lake, that crazy bitch, but I love myself some Trump. Yep. It's just like, what is going on in your state? What the fuck is that?
So Kerry
Kerry Lake, Kerry Lake is just too old to be that desperate. For conservatives, not for me. I mean, old and desperate is my wheelhouse, baby.
Oh God! So yeah, so we had the sundowning incident happen. We also had him like on stage, like rattling a podium. The Biden Harris Twitter feed, they actually called it QAnon music this time when they were talking about Trump like freezing up during the QAnon music. And oh man, did that get QAnon all hot and bothered. They were like, oh yeah, it's QAnon music, baby. What do you think that means? Nothing can stop what is coming. And it's like, no, the Biden's media team is calling it QAnon music because they want to point out that your guy is fucking like sucking up to you freaks, you sick weirdo freaks. And that's not something a good candidate should be doing. So it's like, oh my God, like, don't be happy your name is in the news, idiots, because it's never good. You're never getting good press. Like, calm down.
Well, I mean, if you're a dying cult, I guess there might be such a thing as, good press.
Yeah.
Because it seems like most of the QAnon stuff has just sort of become politics, baby.
Right, yeah. The Trump has just absorbed QAnon into Trump, and it's just like, you know what QAnon is? It's voting for Trump. Woo! So now the QAnon people are like, hey, there's lots of QAnon people because you guys are voting for Trump too. And they're like, stay away from me, you fucking weirdo. I just want lower taxes and the ability to hate women. I don't need to believe in JFK Jr. and all that shit, you fucking loons. You make me look bad.
Yeah, I wonder if well, wonder is the wrong word. I hope that in the future there's like a anthropological study listening to our dumb show, and it's just like you could hear how the QAnon movement went from just being like a crazy like conspiracy theory to just sort of being day-to-day politics stuff based on this stupid podcast. Because the beginning of the podcast is just like, hey, there's like a website, it's got all this guy's crazy ramblings on there, and we're going to talk about like each one of these ramblings, and like then we're going to get into like all the fucking like earthquake machines and stuff, and then it's like 40 years later, and then it's just us just being like, and Donald Trump's doing another thing trying to get elected as president. It's like, yeah, it's just
Yeah. So the other thing that Donald Trump tried to do to get elected as president was post a video to his Truth Social page where it talked about Trump winning in a landslide, securing our border, getting our economy roaring, and all kinds of other great things that you want a president
just like
to do.
last time.
Yes. And also, one of the great things that was going to be happening under the second Trump administration was that America was going to be, quote, a unified Reich. That was in the little ad that Donald Trump had posted on Truth Social.
Really? They used the word Reich?
Yes. Unified Reich is in the campaign ad.
The fuck do you justify that?
Because you fucked up and you let a Nazi send something and you didn't vet it, and then you posted it to your Truth Social because you're a moron.
Yeah, but I mean, are they bothering to even explain it now?
No, they're not trying to explain the Unified Reich thing. When Trump did his courtroom presser today, a reporter yelled at him, Mr. Trump, what do you have to say about the Unified Reich thing in your ad? And he just fucking beat feet back into the courtroom, did not say a fucking word about it. Just, sometimes a Nazi slips a Nazi thing into your ad, and that's just how it is.
Mr. Trump, by your count, which Reich would this be? Hold on, Michael.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, man. Yeah. So, about, I think somewhere between 12 and 14 hours after posting it. And what was really funny is someone, like, it was the timeline was so hilarious because it was like someone noticed it like 6 hours before like Biden Harris HQ, and a bunch of other people then got wind of it, and then boom, like it was overnight last night. It was just all day. Everyone was just like, oh shit, Unified Reich, what the fuck? And then people were just like, oh no, that was just like stock text from like newspapers and blah blah blah. And I even like saw some liberals being like, guys, this is a nothing burger. And it's like, Unified Reich is not a nothing burger. When a candidate who has some very unsavory ties to neo-Nazis posts a video where the fucking term Unified Reich pops up on the screen, you get to talk about it. This is not oh no, Trump gets a mulligan on this one. It's like, why do people act like Trump's campaign is some shoestring operation trying to like rub two nickels together? This guy is the former president. He is going to be a 3-time nominee for president. He's not some nobody who's trying to make 4% so he can make a debate stage and argue with the big boys. Donald Trump is the biggest boy in the history of big boys. And yet, whenever his campaign fucks up like this, people are like, no, simmer down. We can't be all that mad at Donald Trump just because a neo-Nazi made him an ad and he published it. I mean, who doesn't accept gifts from Nazis and then broadcast them to their tens of millions of followers? I mean,
same justification as in his like fucking court trial, where it's just like, all President Trump is guilty of is employing people that he does not oversee and has no idea what they're doing, and that they do stuff on his behalf, but he has no knowledge of it because he's an idiot. That's all he's guilty of. He hasn't committed any of these crimes. He's hired people who've committed crimes, but he was not watching them, and that means that he didn't know that it was happening, and because he's a stupid idiot, he's not guilty of anything.
Exactly. the man who only hires the best people, and that's literally one of his selling reasons for why you need to elect him president. Just happens to hire...
but like there are like 30 people that have worked for him that were pretty high profile that are like doing jail time or like, you know, we're only in their position for like 2 days or whatever. But his base doesn't care. His base does not care because they're just like, me likey Trump. And it's just like, for what reasons? They're just like, because me hatey women and colored people. And it's like, okay, cool. That's a good thing we've cut to the quick. Present your champion. And we'll present ours and let's figure out how America is, you know?
Yeah, basically.
Just real quick, the posting of the Reich video actually there was a really interesting story on the Bulwark about the Trump aide that likely posted it. Her name is Natalie Harp. She's like the woman. They call her like the human printer. Yeah. Her job is to follow Trump around basically constantly and print out the tweets and all relevant things that he needs to see. So she carries a portable printer on her. And she was a former OAN host. I remember her back in the OAN days, One American News Network, who basically credits Trump with her being cured of cancer. So
she's a true believer. She's all the way in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So, and that was the other thing they tried this after, like blaming some random person for making it. They also blamed some random staffer for posting it to his Truth Social. But like Trump's like done a bunch of press, or he's done like a bunch of things where he's talked to people, and he's like, the only people that broadcast that post on my Truth Social are me and Dan Scavino. We're the only two people that have access to the Truth Social account. So it was either you or Dan who posted the fucking Unified Reich shit. So it's not like it wasn't some nobody who like got into your fucking Truth Social account because your password is password 123 or something, which it probably is, or it's even simpler than that because Trump's too dumb to remember what his password is.
MAGA. It's the only thing I can imagine he can remember.
Unless
it's its own name. Yeah, my first two guesses would be MAGA or Trump with some combination of like a 1 maybe or like an exclamation point.
MAGA Trump 1 exclamation point. Boom! I'm in. Holy shit! The power.
Who would you like to nuke, Mr. President? Oh, excellent. Good stuff.
Exactly.
Thank God. What a genius.
Yeah.
Let's put his steady hand back on the wheel.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that is that's where we're at. Trump gutlessly avoiding testifying in court, and then also gutlessly trying to not explain why he accidentally winky emoji was dog whistling Nazis with his latest alleged ad on the social media. So that was great.
Maybe that's the audio. Maybe the audio cue he was waiting for was some sort of like fucking Nazi thing. He was just like, maybe he was like waiting for, it's just like they should have been pumping Adolf over the speakers by now. What's going on? Like,
I need my Fuhrer at the 90-minute mark of these rallies to perk me up, get me back in the show.
Somehow his fucking OAN printer lady didn't get in the memo that they cut the Hitler speech at the beginning of his rally there.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff. Fuck Donald Trump. Can't wait for him to die of a stroke or whatever. Comedy podcast, not a threat. It's time for us to move on to better things, which is our listener mailbag.
Our listeners got questions, we got answers. It's time for Q&A.
Eric, the Deep State Operative, says, we have members of Congress showing up in court in red ties, and MAGA are wearing diapers outside their pants to own the libs. How long before they start all wearing orange jumpsuits in shackles in solidarity of their God Emperor?
That'd be so cool. Like an old Banksy thing. Remember,
literally the moment he goes into jail, some clowns will do it. Carrie Lake will show up in an orange jumpsuit. She'll be like, please let me lick your boots, sir.
Oh, it wasn't Carrie Lake, or was it Marjorie Taylor Greene who was part of that like January 6th prison cell cosplay that guy did?
Oh yeah, let's get that bad built butch body in the fucking orange jumper, you know? Let's see.
I think it was MTG.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I remember it was like Lake and like Peter Strika, the guy that like does like the walk away thing, and like the two of them were like cosplaying. It was like, oh God, you sad children. Oh yeah. Oh, if Trump ever went to a club fed, absolutely people. Because I remember like people were posting his prisoner number in Georgia. people were making that their Twitter handles for a while. So, oh man, if he ever did go to a jail, they'd be selling Trump like jumpsuits. And people are like, yeah, solidarity of my president wrongly imprisoned. He's the Mandela of our age. And it's like, yeah, wrongly imprisoned for like crimes that he absolutely fucking did. Like, this isn't even questionable. He just did crimes, and now he is like paying the penalty for criming. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Calm down. Your guy's not some political martyr. He's not some great hero. He only wants to be president so he won't have to go to jail for crimes, and also so he can become a dictator and crush all of us, which is not great.
But mostly the secure and not having to go to jail for 4 years thing, because he's just like, 4 years, I might just be able to ride the rest of this out,
that's his goal. I mean, I bet he probably wakes up in the morning and feels how broken his body and is like, I don't know if I'm going to make it more than 4 years. So get the presidency and get the check at some point during that time, get to die in opulence. The end. This is the
let's reelect him, if only because then we get to watch another round of like the presidential doctor just bald-faced lying to the entire nation all simultaneously at once. Just being like, he's probably the greatest physical specimen I've ever seen. I've never seen a man in such good health. And it's just like, we fucking have eyes, you moron. Like, we weren't buying it 8 years ago. You think we're buying it now? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. That'll be great. That'd be wonderful. Cleodor Silvestri, the HellwQrld Grand Inquisitor, asks, Colorado GOP have asked for all parents to remove their children from public schools. So question to Haley, now that Arizona is not the most insane state, will you follow other states to maintain the madness level of news you provide for the show?
I'm sorry, but it's not comparable. I saw two women get thrown to the floor, and then the QAnon shaman had to step in and be like, whoa, everybody needs to calm down around here. So I think I got material to just stick with Arizona. Also, I'm from here.
Yeah, I don't think Haley is in Arizona because she moved there and loves it. I think Haley.
No, I was born here, and
it's the powerful love that could only come from being stuck in a place since birth.
Yep, I've never left.
You've traveled a bunch, though.
Yeah, I've traveled. The longest I've ever been away is 2 weeks. But I've never moved out. I've always just lived in Arizona.
Hear that, potential kidnappers? That's the benchmark. No, just kidding. I've been watching a lot of true crime on YouTube recently, so it's just like that was where my head went.
That's okay.
Because I'm a monster,
Yep.
Moving on. I believe we answered that question. Yes, that was one directly for Haley. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm all caught up.
Yep. Chris Brandenburg asks, for all of you, please each of you pick the BBL Drizzy of the Q world, which is a question I feel like almost no one can answer because I'm not good in the BBL Drizzy.
Because Mike doesn't know what the fuck BBL is, and I don't know what the fuck Q is. I mean, that would make Haley our perfect center point, right?
Yes, Haley, solve the puzzle.
So the BBL Drizzy moment is just like literally just who's the sellout loser. Who's the sellout loser, Mike, of the QAnon? Like, even amongst these grifters, who's the one that's like transparently just sort of like a plant that people got called out for being fraudulent?
I would say that QAnon John's probably the worst of those because he's obviously someone who just has like some money and just wanted to be cool. So he's the one that stages these like big rallies in Vegas and stuff. He's just like, hey guys, I'll rent out a hall for us if you all come out and hang with me. I want to be cool. Like, he is the most desperate fucking little baby. He has no actual, like, that's the thing is like, he's only built a community by being friends of other QAnon promoters. Like, he doesn't actually have like a brand of his own. And he's my favorite because literally his brand was, my name is QAnon John. And then when the whole edict came down from Q to stop using that branding, he transformed himself to the Patriot Voice. He's just like so desperate to try to like stay relevant without using the bad word for his name anymore. So yeah, it would definitely be him. He's 100% that guy.
Couldn't he have just gone to Anon John?
He could have, but apparently that was even too toxic for him. So he was like, I need a bolder, stronger name. I'm the Patriot voice. And it's like, oh, God, no, you're not.
Good for you. Way to do a bad rebrand, you dum-dum. Unfortunately, I just don't know enough to speculate, really. I will say that it's unfortunate because another big part of the Drizzy Kendrick beatdown is Kendrick outing Drake as a pedophile. I can't really speculate as to who in QAnon that describes. Although I would like speculate all of them, every single one.
Update from like a few pods ago. Our buddy E the Friend, who was on the lam when we were talking about him for his pedophile crimes, he was caught. So he's actually, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Fuck it. Yeah. You tend to get tuned up, Johnny.
Yeah.
Whatever your name is. Get ready. Yep. Get ready for they love that in jail, you know? They're a big fan of that. When they hear about that, they're really just like, we as fellow prisoners salute you. Would you like some free sandwiches? But yeah, so I don't know who the BBLQ is. Did Haley finally come up with an answer, or do you have a good one, Haley?
I can't. They're all of them. That's my answer.
Yeah, yes. The Venn diagram. Yep, all of them. Almost every single one of them.
Take that, all of you, but specifically QAnon John. I will never call you by your dumb new name. You're QAnon John for forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the bar is just being like a stupid sellout that's into young girls, I mean,
yeah, there's more than a few. More than a few. Will asks a question for Elle specifically. What happened to Bingeworthy?
That is a very boring story. It was just scheduling conflicts. Sarge had different life commitments come up, and we no longer had days off that aligned. And between my work commute and the time difference, because we live in different parts of the country, we just didn't really have like a great time to get together for a weekly show, or like a bi-weekly show or whatever. Every once in a while, I am tempted to see if I can rustle him into talking about anime for a podcast once a month. Because every once in a while I'll have strong anime opinions, but no outlet for them because I'm just like, God damn it. Like, I'm not part of that culture specifically and on purpose because I don't like those people, but I do have opinions about the stuff that they consume. We're so close to having common ground, except every part about them is gross and weird.
Oh God, I'll have to dip into the Q debunker community to find the anime fans and see if they have a better timeline for you. That'd be.
Yeah, I guess the problem is that like Sarge and I, we've always shared one very specific thing, which is we love anime, but we have never and will never call ourselves anime fans. In fact, I've always wanted our show to be called "We Are Not Anime Fans." Because we're just like a couple of dudes that watch anime, but it's just like, oh shit, who's your waifu? And it's just like, let me stop you right there.
Don't talk to me that way.
Yeah, do not talk to me that way, or in fact, just do not talk to me again.
Don't ever speak to me or my boy again. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's just like them women's is fake, dude. That's a drawn. Them people are not real. That's drawn. It's drawn. I haven't been titillated by this since I was like 15, dude. Like once I started seeing like actual human women naked, I was just like, oh, dude, like there's no going back. It's so much better, you know.
There was the one thing I saw that was anime related this week was the Minnesota Timberwolves are the new hotness in the NBA, and their star player is a 22-year-old Anthony Edwards, and people were like, you know why the Timberwolves are killing it is because Anthony Edwards probably doesn't have a favorite DBZ character. And there was a lot of people that just came out of the woodwork that were like, you think a black 22-year-old guy doesn't have a favorite DBZ character? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that motherfucker knows more about Dragon Ball Z than me, for sure. 100%. Yeah. There's just like no comparing it. Like, because, you know, when I was growing up, like watching DBZ, it was just like, I was watching it when it was there, it got fucking Toonami or whatever. And if I missed episodes, that was just it. And like, I've never gone back to it. But like the kids that are into this shit now, and they have like access to the internet and they can just binge it whenever they want. And like the cultural touchstone of like the characters in Dragon Ball Z, dude. Yeah. Like try to find me a 22-year-old, anybody who doesn't know about Dragon Ball Z these days. Fucking crazy.
Yeah. So, Will also asks, what does Rudy's new coffee taste like? Desperation. That definitely tastes just like bitter sadness.
Dapper Dan. We already talked about this earlier. Julie Beans tastes like Dapper Dan because it comes straight from the man's forehead.
Yes. Pancake Peasant asks, which company or person has most successfully monetized QAnon? Is there or will there ever be a corporatized conspiracy?
Donald Trump. Moving on.
Yep. Oh, when it comes to actually obtaining the power of it, it's 100% Donald Trump. For like low-level grifters, back in the day, like Praying Medic was fucking making it rain off that shit. I remember he did like a 30-minute live stream, and like during that 30-minute live stream, someone donated $1,000 to him. He got a bunch of other smaller donations, but somebody was just like, "Here's a dime, bam, there you go, Praying Medic. Thank you for
$1,000 donation."
Just my God. And the thing about Medic that's so bad is like if you listen to him, he's like got negative charisma. He is his shtick is like for really old people. It's like reading old. It's like a reverse Mr. Rogers, where instead of explaining the world to young people, he's explaining a conspiracy to like old people. And I guess it's a niche that works because he's getting paid for it. But my God, like I am not the demographic that man is trying to reach. He's like, now we're here at Q Drop 47, and here he's talking about how North Korea is under the oppression of the deep state. And it's like, oh my God, snooze, old man, snooze. But yep, it just worked for some people. Like Grandpa Simpson was just like, now I get it. Now I understand the vision of Q.
Yeah, dude, he's making boomer content for boomer viewers. Like a QAnon should be exclusively for boomers. The fact that it isn't is the horrible part, you know? Like anybody who's looking to make America great again is probably like 2 generations removed from anybody that should be saying shit like that, you know?
Yes.
Because if you've grown up with a couple of generations behind you, like when you look at the rear view, most of the time you should feel shame. If you're an American, all the time you should feel shame. It was never just like you look back and you're just like, God, we were crushing it then and not doing anything bad. It's always just like, we were crushing it then on the backs of the following people. And then you just listen.
Yes, exactly. And finally, in honor of Brianna Wu trying to make new friends and stay relevant, what would be your job in the progressive Borg collective? You can't be Borg Queen because I guess she says no hierarchy. And Brianna Wu has a tweet that reads, the Borg in Star Trek are basically a metaphor for progressivism. You have to think the same thoughts of the hive mind, and if you deviate, you will be destroyed for the good of the collective. Individuality is released. There is no hierarchy. So she didn't see the movie of the Borg Queen. Great job, Brianna. Way to be on top of your Star Trek lore. So
I try to avoid all things Brianna Wu. I'm sorry, listener.
But what would your job be in the progressive Borg collective is the actual question.
Okay. That was the question? Okay.
Yes.
I would be the secretary. As I am currently the secretary of Antifa, I would be the secretary of the Borg.
Oh man, when I need to get the minutes for the last meeting I missed, I can go right to you and you're like, here you go. Here's what we were talking about. Here's the planets we were going to conquer. I'm like, oh sweet, I've always wanted to conquer those planets. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad we finally got to the meeting phase of that.
I would have to be the virtue signaler. That would be my job. I use whatever platform I have, large or small though it may be, to virtue signal, so that way the rest of the Borg progressive hive mind knows exactly what talking points to stick to. Otherwise, they get excommunicated.
I don't know. I'd probably be like just some low level grunt. I would just be like doing whatever people need to be doing. Yo, office lackey. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, games master. I'd be the DM for like that was yeah. I'd be teaching the Borg how to play craps. That'd be my goal. That'd be my job. Also explaining to idiots how blackjack works. No, you don't stay on 16 against the 10. You don't do that. Oh, you're doing it. Oh,
but the Borgs are like half. The Borgs are like half like half computer, right? So you'd just be like you'd be doing that 1,000,000 times per second. Silently.
Yes, just constantly. Yeah,
I'd just be like standing around a table with one of those like Spencer Gifts, like electric like light discs, like because you don't have like a very good set budget, and you just be like standing around there, just like with your eyes rolled back in your head. It's like, what are they doing? It's like, oh, they simulate 1,000 pans of blackjack per second. And then it's just like, why does one of them look annoyed? You're just like, he's the dealer.
Yeah, he just... Oh, God, yeah.
Your job is to also ensure that future generations know about our lib hero, JFK. But
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, his partner is Rob Reiner.
Yeah, me and Rob Reiner working together. We have a few disagreements about how our JFK got the check, but we're in total solidarity that the man would have brought about world peace if he'd lived. Spoiler alert. I don't think that would have happened, no. So, and that brings us to our question that wraps things up as always. What are you guys looking forward to?
I have a longish Memorial Day weekend. I don't have like a ton of stuff planned for it yet, but it will be nice to have some time to myself. And I'm getting back into mini painting. I painted an Incredible Hulk and a Captain America recently. They look pretty cool. I'm having a lot of fun doing my hobbies. Yeah. Who needs a relationship? I've got mini painting.
That's what it's all about. It's what it's all about.
He said, grimacing at his own life. Actually, no, dude. Minis are sweet.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to, Haley?
The end of this week. That would be nice because I've been busy and I'm busy right after this pod. So it's just like, can this week fucking end? And that's what I'm looking forward to.
She's lying. She just wanted to lay the groundwork for another excuse when she throws Mike and I to the wind.
I text Mike
for another week, pretending like we don't exist.
I do text Mike. I occasionally like look at this.
Wow, savage! So it's just me? Unreal. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the only things that I
got him.
Political stuff, and you don't want to see that.
That is true. God bless.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything non-political. But...
Yeah.
I texted you the TikTok of the teenage daughter explaining to her table her family.
Oh yeah, we did talk about BBL Drizzy briefly. Dude, what a cultural moment for all of us. It was like a reverse 9/11. You know, we all healed a little bit.
The mom was just staring blankly, just not understanding, and that was Mike. And the dad was just like eating food, like stuff in his food. He was just like, interesting. And the little daughter was the expert, and that's you. I'm the dad, obviously.
Obviously. You've got big dad energy, you know?
Yes. I am looking forward to the fact that I'll be going to the Clam Shack to get my first lobster of the summer. So they opened Monday, I believe. So if Elle's not doing anything this Sunday, we'll probably have to do a Clam Shack run also then. So
oh yeah, I don't know what's going on Sunday, but possibly, yeah. I just had my first fish and chips of the season recently from a place, and it was not terrible, but it didn't knock my socks off. So it would be nice to get some good fried fish in me.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is like it literally takes these people like 1 million hours to boil a lobster. It is just like, I would like a lobster, please, and some shrimp, and they're like, okay, sir. And then like I get my slip, and my slip number says I'm like 220, and then they're like 218, 219, 221, 222, 223, 224, 220. I'm like, oh, thank God, because
who are all these other people that are not buying lobster?
I don't know. That's
Mike, this story doesn't add up. This doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's just apparently people just want shrimp boxes or clam boxes. People just don't want a lobster thrown in a pot and given to them, which is strange. I would think that you'd want to do that if you're in this town, and it's the land of the giant lobster.
Mike, stop talking about lobster. Haley is very busy. God damn it, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough.
All right, listeners, thank you so much for listening and supporting the show. You know, we really appreciate you sticking with us even when the show is mid, like this week. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, as always, for listening and supporting us. If you want to support us even harder, but still for free, you can visit us at patreon.com. No, I'm all mixed up. I'm all fucked up. If you want to support us for free, give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast from. If you have money and you want to give it to us, you can go to patreon.com/pokerpolitics. If you donate at least $5 per month, you get access to all of our bonus content, several dozens of hours worth of stuff, including the stuff we recorded back when Sarge was around, all the way up to new bonus content we have been recording with Haley. Mostly Mike has been doing that, but as we mentioned, maybe at some point, HellwQrld and Chill, some other stuff coming down the pipeline with all three of us. We'll see if I can free up my schedule for some bonus content, but there is still stuff getting pumped out, and if you want to visit patreon.com/pokerpolitics, you can join the other beautifuler babies in the crib. Thank you so much, beautifuler babies. We love you. If you have money and you want to do some good with it, but you don't want to give it to us, you can pick your poison. There's a ton of ways to do good with it in the world right now, but the one we've always suggested is love146.org. Their organization's vision is the end of child trafficking and exploitation. Thanks always to DJ Minimal Effort for the use of our intro song, accidentally remixed by Mike Rains into what you heard at the top of the show. Thank you to Frosty, who you can find on social media at FrostyVO. They're the voice of Q in all of our bumps. Whenever we need voiceover work, Frosty is there to help us out. You can find the show itself on Twitter at HellwQrld with a Q instead of an O. You can find me on Twitter. That's right. I left for a long time, and none of you fucks came with me, so I came crawling back with my tail between my legs. So you can now find my new account on Twitter at HellwQrldFatty, because I didn't care enough to recover my old account, because I still don't really give a shit about social media, but I cared even less of a shit about Blue Sky. Thank you for being so boring, Blue Sky. Holler at me when you have an algorithm. You can find Haley on various social media at Arizona Right Watch, aka AZRW, and Mike Rains on various social media, of course, at Poker Politics. So, for another successful episode of the Adventures in HellwQrld podcast, I've been one of your hosts, the Mysterious L, joined as always by Haley, aka Arizona Right Watch, and our expert in all things QAnon crazy, Mr. Mike Rains, aka Poker Politics. Good speed, Patriots!